Hello, renew and transform with Dr. Sylvia Nicole. Family, I just wanted to hop on really quickly live and greet you all, but also wanted to really dig into this new experience that I've recently announced that I'm really excited about, and I want to ensure that you understand what this journey is all about. It is the Beauty of Brokenness Falling into Love 8-week anniversary experience. And so the Beauty of Brokenness Falling into Love is a book that I actually republished last year in 2025 on Valentine's Day. And so the anniversary experience is going to actually begin this Saturday on Valentine's Day, Love Day of this year. I really want to emphasize the falling into love piece. So, for first of all, those of you who have not read the book, this is what it's really about. It is about understanding our experiences with brokenness, understanding that we are never truly broken. The core of who we are, our divine essence, the part of us that comes from Source itself, is never broken. But we do have experiences with brokenness. And when we have experiences with brokenness, the real purpose behind it is to help unfold, to reveal more and more of the truth of who we are, an extension of the divine source, wrapped in flesh, uniquely expressing itself in the earth. And when we become more and more grounded in the truth of who we are, falling into love, because love is the divine presence that we are created from, then we walk in more fullness, in more wholeness, and we are able to contribute more powerfully to the perpetuation of that divine presence, love, the spreading of love throughout the world. And so this 2025 version of The Beauty of Brokenness is very different than the one that I actually originally self-published in 2006. 2006 version was more focused on my own personal journey with brokenness, experience with brokenness, and how the divine helped me to heal and gain understanding and insight from that experience. This version, if I may say so, I believe is much more powerful because it's really diving into, again, understanding our relation to divine source and what that says about who we are, and really keeping our eyes focused on that through all of life's ups and downs, challenges and trials, through all the successes, all what I call the good, bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. And understanding, again, when we come into those challenging times, when we come into those moments of life that feel like it's breaking us, that feel like they are breaking us, that those are the moments where we can turn inward, look to that internal wisdom that comes from God, that comes from divine source itself, and get rooted and grounded more and more uh, in who we are, in what we are, and understand how to allow that to unfold even in those toughest moments of life. And so I wanted to kind of take you on a little bit of a journey to share with you what I'll be going through the 8-week journey. Again, this is the anniversary experience. I will be releasing a pre-recorded video lesson to our founding audience on Substack every week for 8 weeks, starting again February 14th. There's also a workbook that is available that I've now released. I did not release that with the release of the book, Beauty of Brokenness, Falling into Love last year. I've developed a 150 plus page, really workbook journal that's really rooted in your own deep critical reflection on many of the concepts within the book itself and how it practically applies to your life and your journey wherever you are in your journey. And so I'm really excited about that. And I'm really excited to get feedback from you all and how that workbook journal has assisted in your journey as well. So again, we'll be doing the 8-week lessons online. It's again pre-recorded. We will have a live each month. So for 2 months, where we can just get together online, discuss concepts from the book, do some Q&A if needed. I'd love to hear the insights and ahas that you all are gaining through reading the book and going through the workbook. And I think I will also be sharing a bit of my own workbook experience with you all as well, because again, this for me is a journey of consistently learning how to uh, dive in and fall into love myself as well. So let me give you an overview. So number one, again, this is an 8-week transformational journey, and it's really designed to help you discover your divine nature or discover more of your divine nature through the lens of your own experiences with brokenness, whether that is previous, whether that's present, or whether that's in times to come. And so again, it includes those weekly video lessons, the workbook exercises, monthly live sessions, and I've also thrown in some individual coaching. And so if you are already a founding member of Renew and Transform on Substack, then you will automatically have access to this 8-week experience. But there's additional coaching that comes with it as well. And so, again, really looking forward to you all's experience having this journey with you. Um, so, the approach to this is really a personal testimony. I will be sharing more of my story throughout these 8 weeks of video. There is some theological depth. So, I am using biblical scripture and basically helping to make some of the concepts accessible and practical. I do want to say, even as a Christ follower, you do not have to be a Christ follower in order for you to participate in this. I believe that the way in which we will go through some of those biblical scriptures will make it accessible to anyone, will make it practical to anyone. Again, really rooted in that concept of divine source being the true nature of who you are and how we can live that out on a day-to-day basis. There is some psychological framework. I'll be pulling from some of my doctoral research in psychology and education and how we can, again, make some of these things, these concepts more practical for us on a day-to-day basis. There is that practical application, compassionate honoring, no matter where you are on your own personal journey. I believe that you will get something very rich and meaningful and impactful from this experience. Throughout, you will hear empowering language because I really want to reinforce your own agency and also you going through the journey of developing and strengthening your own divine authority. And then also, there's a community focus because I just believe that when we are together and we are each sharing our insights and our ahas with one another, that gives us the ability to shine light, to reflect light to one another, and really help each other kind of unfold in this journey. So, again, let's go through the outline. Week 1 is about association. It's one of the chapters from the book. This is really rooted in the foundation of divine oneness, like really understanding, again, the concept of association and our inherent oneness with the divine. We'll also be exploring, again, how brokenness or experience with brokenness does not diminish our divine nature. Again, our divine nature can never be broken. And so understanding or reframing that broken experience is very important. We'll also talk about the difference between what happens to us versus what is revealed in and through us. So there is power in many of the experiences that we have, even the ones that are uncomfortable for us throughout our life's journey. And then understanding again God as the I am. the all sufficient one, and the implications that understanding that and really having a good grasp of that has on our own identities. Then we'll go through companionship, understanding the divine as the friend within. This has been very impactful for me. Once I have been able to shift my lens from the God that's out there, the divine source that's out there, to the divine source that actually lives and moves and dwells within me and is moving in and through me, that's a huge shift. That is profound shift in understanding, again, the divine as an intimate companion that is with us and working through us in every situation and circumstance of life. The divine as a friend, as a guide, as a constant presence in our life that is not afar off, that we don't have to search for, but is literally with us at all times. And how do we listen to that divine guidance, that divine friend in our everyday situations and circumstances? And also distinguishing the difference between that divine inner voice, the wisdom that comes from divine source, and other voices, sometimes that inner critic that pops up for us, and other things that may be programming or conditioning that comes from our own experiences with brokenness throughout our journey. And then how do we learn how to really trust that divine companionship? Really embrace the fact that the divine does not leave us, that the divine is always with us and always present within our lives. The third week, we'll talk about a chapter called Process. And so, process is really about an unfolding journey of understanding that all of our experiences, again, are helping us to get a better grasp and understanding of that divine within us. It is why shifting from why is this happening to me to what is this experience revealing within me? What is the divine trying to get me to focus on? What kind of power, what kind of strength that is already within, that is being strengthened, that is being further revealed through this experience, right? So again, understanding that really the power is going through challenging experiences, right? Not trying to cope and avoid it, but really leaning into an active coping expression where we're leaning in and we're going through the pain, through the challenge, through whatever that hardship is, because it's by going through it that we get the development within us that we need. And we're able to see again more of that divine source arise within us. So then we'll go on to resemblance, really expressing your own divine nature and understanding that you naturally reflect divine qualities. I've spent so much of my life trying to look outward or trying to uh, figure out how I can look more like someone who is a believer, look more like someone who is connected to divine source. And the truth of the matter is, again, the same with me, the same with all of you. Divine source is always within us, always present. And it's when we take time in stillness and we really look inward that we can see how the divine source is actually showing up through us each and every day in ways that sometimes, because of, again, life's experiences, we're so easy to dismiss and not recognize. But we have resemblance. We walk in resemblance of the divine, in the image and the likeness of the divine. And so, really understanding that we don't have to try to be good because the authenticity of the divine is within us. All we have to do is be. And when we settle into that, we'll see more and more of how the divine is expressing itself through us and in us each and every day. Then we'll move forward to a chapter that's called Possession, which is really about you claiming your divine identity, right? Owning the authenticity of your divine nature. Understanding that possession is about ownership and it's about your, again, being rooted in your divine identity. It's about transitioning when we have those broken experiences from that of being a victim to a victor that's actually walking in power through those experiences. And then also understanding, um, being able to distinguish what has happened to us, again, from what we really are. And a lot of this is looking back over our life experiences, looking at the conditioning that's happened, looking at the mindsets and the beliefs that have framed because of those experiences with brokenness, and being able to kick out some of those residents that do not belong in our minds, that do not belong in our hearts, because they are not a part of our true authentic self. And when we kick out those residents that don't belong there, we're able to fill those spaces again with more of the truth of who we are. We take possession or repossession over those parts of ourselves, our identities, and our lives. Then we'll move forward to a chapter about instrumentality, making your divine sound in the earth, your own unique divine expression, right? Understanding yourself as a divine instrument in the earth. And again, once we realize how much of ourselves is really just uniquely express, we're able to uniquely and innately express the divine, then we tune more into that. And we also start to inquire about, again, what is that unique sound that we are designed to make in the earth? What is the unique expression? What is the divine trying to say through your unique journey, right? That is your sound. That is your instrumentality in the earth. And it is actually one of the greatest freedoms that we have, because we begin to realize that our story, again, all the ups and the downs, all of the good, bad, the ugly, and the beautiful, all of it culminates into the fine tuning of our instrumentality and allows us to make our unique sound. When you realize that the challenges in your life, that the broken experiences in your life were not meant to diminish you, were not meant to keep you in a state of feeling broken, but instead, they were actually a part of the unique design for your life so that you could sharpen and become attuned to the unique sound that you are created to make in the earth. You will appreciate every single experience that you've had in life, because you realize again that it's helping you to fine tune that uniqueness that the divine has put within you so that you can make your sound in the earth. Then we'll move on to addition. How are we expanding love's expression? Again, earlier I said that the divine source that we are created from, we are made of love, right? We are made from love. We're made of the same stuff that the divine is made of, and what I consider Christ to be made of, which I believe is the very expression of God's love, right? And so if we are made of divine love, then how are we learning how to refine that? Again, by getting more and more in touch with the truth of who we are, despite what life throws at us. And how are we adding to the expression of love in the earth? The more, the more of us as individuals learn how to walk in our own unique instrumentality and make our divine sound. Think about it. Think about that chorus that's being made throughout the earth. We are all making our own divine sounds in the earth. The more of us get to a chance to strengthen that and begin to be able to really um, just belt it, if you will, right? Become louder and louder in our own uniqueness and divine presence. We are able to create a symphony. We're able to create a choir of love's divine expression in the earth. And let me tell you, I don't think I have to tell you this. With what's going on in the world right now, we need more of this. We need more of us who are willing to really get grounded and rooted and the divine source within us, making our own unique sounds in the earth, our expressions of love and goodness and peace and joy and acceptance. And the more we do this, the louder we become collectively, and the more beautiful we can hear our chorus. And hopefully, we'll be able to drown out some of this other things, some of this other darkness and mess that's going on in our lives. And lastly, we'll go into a chapter called Completeness. And it's about, again, it's building off of that idea of addition and how together we create a fuller image of love in the earth. It is about contributing to the divine expression, divine source in the earth, going back to the desire and the design of God, what this whole creation was created for, which is love and goodness. And when we again begin to do that collectively, then the world is able to see a fuller expression of love. How we are all a part of the divine masterpiece within the earth. We're all our individual masterpieces, right? Our life's journey creates a masterpiece, but then it fits into a puzzle of the masterpieces of those around us who are also called to walk in that resounding voice. And here's the thing, we all are. We all are. We may not recognize it, but we all are called to move forward in that instrumentality to really reverberate the expression of love in the earth. And as we continue to do that, we see our role in the bigger story of what the divine's desire and heart is for the whole of humanity and creation. And we're able to contribute to that. So I, again, am inviting you to this experience. If you have not gotten the Beauty of Brokenness, Fallen into Love book, I will put a link to that below the recording of this video. If you haven't gotten the workbook, I will put a link up to that too. And again, if you want to be able to participate in the video and the video lessons and the live each month, then I will put a link to. Well, I don't have to put a link. This is right on Substack. All you have to do is upgrade to a founding level, and you'll be able to participate in that as well. Now, if you're not able to participate in the founding level, even just becoming a paid member, you will get something. I am designing something for that part of our community as well, as a part of Renew and Transform. So again, this journey that we're about to go on, starting on February 14th, this anniversary experience for my book, The Beauty of Brokenness, Falling into Love, is really about being able to see your pain and challenges as preparation for you making your divine sound in the earth. To be able to see whatever has wounded you as wisdom, as the thing that helps you to dig inward and see the divine wisdom that is already present within you. And it's a part of helping you to see your story as an instrument of healing in the earth, and how when we all see ourselves in that light, we are able to contribute to shining forth again God's original design and desire for humanity, seeing us culminate into a fuller presence of love in the earth. And so I am so excited to be sharing this with you. I think that even for myself, I published the book last year, um, and there's been so much understanding that has come through me writing this book. Um, I've always considered myself to be a scribe. I feel like that's what the divine spoke to me years ago. And so oftentimes I will write, and I will write things that I don't even yet fully understand, but I know that the divine is downloading it into me. And so I write it. And then over my own journey, I'm able to reflect on that writing and actually really start to get divine revelation and understanding of what it's about. And so again, it's been a year since I self-published this book. I am so excited to share with you not only again the concepts of the book itself, but also what I have learned through my own journey and how this message of falling into love has really grown and developed in my own life and in my own journey. And I'm choking up because it has been amazing. Again, going back to the original concept, there's something that fundamentally shifts within our lives when we start to really understand how much God loves us. When we understand that the divine source, God, is not this deity that's out in space somewhere looking upon us, but is actually extended itself within us, that we are literally cut out of and made of the same fabric and the same stuff that the divine is made of. That in the creation of all that exists, that the divine took a moment to pause and say, I'd love to create this thing called humanity. And what can I make that from? And decided to make us from itself. And when we start to really understand that power and presence and love and authority, peace and goodness and joy is the stuff that we are made of, and that this life's experience is just that. It's an experience. And the purpose of the experience, with all its ups and downs, is to help us come into a clarity of the truth of who we are in our divine nature. It shifts everything. It shifts everything. And I have not perfected this. I am still learning and growing in this concept. I am still understanding more and more of it each and every day. But the journey has been amazing. And I'm very excited to share what I've learned and to hear what you all have learned in this 8-week anniversary experience. So I'm asking you to join me if you're able. I would love to hear from you all. Even if you're not, I'd love to connect with you. If you're not able to join, connect with me. I'd love to hear from you all. If you've read the book, if you've gotten the workbook, and yeah, I'm sure that even after this 8-week experience, we'll have some additional, um, more accessible, I think, conversations around the concepts in the book. So thank you again uh, for just considering and for being a part of Renew and Transform. I really appreciate this community. I appreciate you guys reading what I put up, and I appreciate the comments that I get and the emails that I get. It's really exciting and it's very encouraging for me to keep going in this writing journey. And I have to give a shout out to Alejandro. Hey, Alejandro, I see you on here. And thank you for taking some time to watch. I really appreciate it. And to the rest of you, I hope to see you at the anniversary experience or just in the regular community on Renew and Transform with Dr. Sylvia Nicole. Have a loving and blessed day.